Hello, welcome back to the channel. I'm EVM and this is a plug-in hybrid. Now, I bet myself that I can do this in one go, so let's see. Right, this is the Skoda Octavia IV SEL Estate 1.4 TSI DSG PHEV. Yes! Ha ha! I've been driving this all week, and along with all the other plug-in hybrids I've driven either on or off the channel, I think it's fair to say, and it's not normally something I do at the beginning of the video, that this is probably, as an overall package, maybe not in top trumps in every category, but overall I think this is the best family plug-in hybrid you can buy today, you know, the new market. It's just dependable. I mean, Octavias always have been, haven't they? There's a reason why so many taxis use Skoda Octavias. My first ever new car that we bought was a Skoda Octavia, a VRS back in 2008. And although it wasn't the best car for driving or, you know, it's no poster child, is it? It just did everything we asked of it and never complained. I quite like these angular headlights where they've kept this kind of centre bonnet crease that swoops down. Even the silver trim kind of works on this, and I'm not normally a fan of silver trim. I do think that red's not its best colour though. I think there are better than, I think it's a dark grey or maybe a black would suit this the most, but I just think they've got the straight edges where they need to, you know, they break things up nicely. Usual estate profile from the side, a couple of creases here and there, but overall it's fairly plain here, not much to look at, but you do have very wide rear doors for good rear entry. I'll show you around the inside in a second. Fuel filler cap there. The charge flap is on the other side of the wing at the front, on the left-hand side. Yeah, you got a couple of roof bars and the usual estate stuff, but overall, it's just that dependable kind of look again. There's nothing I can really follow it with, but there's nothing I can pull out and say that's a good feature either. It just does what it's asked to. Just like that guy doing the digging up the road there with his jackhammer. Again, as a Tesla owner, I'm looking at this here, and this here, and these. Them panel gaps are just spot on. I'm jealous of that. From the back, again, typical Skoda estate stuff. Lots of angles going on. Quite like the Skoda badge going across the back there. And you've got these creases all over the place that just kind of break up the what is a fairly plain rear end, really. I mean, what more can you do with an estate, especially one that's not a sporty version? Again, I do think the VRS is a better looking car. I do quite like these rear lights rather, and it's all right. But ultimately, we're back here to see how practical it is, because it's a family car that's an estate. So, how practical is it? Please don't hit the garage roof. Please don't hit the garage roof. There we go. We're all right. We're good. I wasn't panicking. Yes. Huge boot, as you'd expect from A, an estate, and B, an Octavia. Completely flat loading bay. If you've got stuff going in and out of it, it's a doddle. And you do have, if I lift this, a pretty deep recess there for cables or just whatever else you want to put inside it. So, yeah, it's not the biggest estate boot in the world, but I think this should be more than enough for any family work, all the usual stuff that you have to take in with your kids and that. Now, let me stick the seats down to see if it's a proper flat loaded bay, because that's again what people get estates for usually, and it's not just for dogs. You could go camping in this. I mean, it's huge. Oop, I lost the keys there. I can easily fit in this fully stretched out. You can click these here, either side, so you can put the seats down without having to really reach forward, and you got the 12 volt as well. Storage bins here, storage bins there for the stuff that you don't want rolling around. And as I said, it's not quite completely flat, but it's flat enough to do an IKEA trip in. So it passes the rear boot test. All that's left now is to see what it's like on the inside and on the road. Right, let's start with the steering wheel. 2-spoke. You've got these weird vents either side. They look really quite cool actually. It's just a nice little design touch. And look, actual buttons, scroll wheel, all within nice easy reach of your hands, and I don't have to read the manual to figure out what's going on. So yeah, that's nice. The door, look at that. How cool's that door handle? Really, really is good. It's like something out of a high-spec kitchen. This material, soft touch, yet hard wearing. You can have both. People who are accepting hard plastics in other cars and go, well, it's just going to last a long time, isn't it? Well, you can have both. You can have soft touch and hard wearing. That feels nice. It's kind of like your fake leather here. Look, 4 buttons to open the windows. Nice and solid again, although a bit cheap plastic there. Bit of a weird one, this. The thing that you're most likely to use or touch has got the cheapest plastic on it, which is a bit odd, considering the rest of the door is really, really nice. That's a bit of a strange decision. Good door bins there. If we go up here to the vents, nice and solid. Nice bit of trim there. That's nice and soft. And look, you've even got a little cubby hole next to the steering wheel. The dash, nice soft material. I mean, you can pretty much see my finger indenting it there. It's hard wearing again, but it feels good. It feels premium, to be honest. You got a bit of like an Alcantara finish there that goes behind the touchscreen. I'll come back to that in a second. This metal trim's nice. This bit, again, really high-end stuff. Buttons, sturdy. Again, no complaints there. Now, the glove box. Have they done what Volkswagen have started doing? No, they haven't. It's full width. Even though this is a right-hand drive car, you've got a full width glove box. Well done, Skoda, so far. Oh, they just feel really high spec. I mean, this is meant to be a budget part of the VAG brand, but so far, they're outperforming Volkswagen in their current generation vehicles. You've got a bit of storage there for your phone, a couple of USB ports. Obligatory black gloss. I think it must be EU regulation to have some sort of black gloss in any car these days. Reverse, drive and sports mode. If you do that, stick it into park using that button there. Electronic handbrake, of course. This bit here is for, I don't know, a USB pen maybe? It's just, I'm not sure what that's for really. Now, this, do have a bit of a beef with this because it doesn't fit a bottle, or it doesn't fit my bottle very well. It's just a little bit narrow. An armrest, which moves forwards and backwards and up and down. And it's not from virgin rail that's bolted to the seat. Again, like other VAG stuff. You've got a nice little bit of storage in here. Closed storage so you can hide stuff away. And that just feels really solid. Seats. Again, this isn't the base model by any means, but they just feel really comfortable. Usual sort of Volkswagen Group seats and that. So yeah, no complaints whatsoever. Material feels nice. And I've done lots of driving in this. And so far, again, I'm very, very comfortable. Now, let me show you the virtual cockpit, which if I just press this button here, comes to life. And yeah, that's a very nice, very easy to see display. And if I press these buttons on here, you can cycle through various options to give you all the information you need. You've got your sat-nav stuff, you've got the lane keep assist. Now, the infotainment system, it's all right. I don't like the fact that the menu and home buttons are on the far side. I have to reach forward when I'm driving. They need to just flip it round. Put them buttons here for the right-hand drive people. This is a volume control, but that's all it does. The whole thing is volume control, and that works much better than other VAG stuff because you got much finer control of it because it's so large and it doesn't do anything else. Not my favourite infotainment system in the world, I'll be honest, but really clear display, and it does Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, in fact wireless. So that's all I've been using. Oh, bird poo. Nice wide entrance. Now that is as far back as the seat goes. So this is in a position which will almost never be used. I mean, that must be for the tallest person in the world. And yet I've still got plenty of room to be nice and comfortable. So in a normal position, if I put this where that is, just look at the space. It's colossal. You do have the hump in the middle there, even though there's a really wide rear bench. So you could fit 3 adults across here, but again, that might get in the way. Nice solid air vents there. That's good. Feels all right. Bit of storage. USB-C ports. So yeah, I think kids are going to be very happy back here. Loads of space, so let's see what it's like on the road. Right, we'll start off with a few statistics, like the just over 13 kilowatt hour battery. I've found after driving it a few days on full electric only mode, for example, yesterday I used about 92%, and I ended up doing 34 miles. The engine never kicked in, it was electric the entire day. So yeah, you will get 40 miles if driven economically and the weather's mild and you're not using the heater. So I think if we average this out, I would say it's probably about an average of 30 miles, slightly less in winter, more in summer. And of course, if you drive economically, you could get over that 40-mile barrier. So in plug-in hybrid terms, compared to the competition, it's pretty good. I do think that VAG have got, I'm not sure if I'd say the best, but certainly close to the best, if not the best, hybrid system, plug-in hybrid system. You know, the way the engine and the electric kind of combines, the DSG gearbox works really nicely with it all. It's pretty seamless stuff. There is a little bit of road noise, a bit of wind noise. It's a bit louder than certainly the Superb PHEV, but yeah, that's a class above, so it should be. But yeah, I'd like it just to be a little bit quieter, because when you're in full electric mode, it feels like you're in a loud car, even though compared to like a traditional petrol or diesel, you're not. It's got just over 200 brake horsepower, and considering this isn't the VRS, it's pretty potent when it wants to be. It's obviously that combination of electric and petrol. So it's no hot hatch. It doesn't rival the VRS. I wouldn't even call it a warm hatch in terms of handling, but in terms of straight line speed, it's pretty good. It's very comfortable. I've done long journey, lots of short journeys and commuting and stuff. It just seems to cover all bases really well. If it was just a little bit quieter at these speeds, it'd be superb. Or rather, it would be the Superb. When we did the ID4 video, I said that the ID4 was to cars what tofu is to food. And we stand by that still, by the way. This, however, if I had to use that same sort of food analogy, the Octavia is eggs. It's basically something that is undervalued, used all over the place. Many people eat them. Extremely versatile. You can have them as scrambled, fried, boiled, poached, all that sort of stuff. It's effectively something everybody just takes for granted, and I think that's what this is, because anything you throw at it, it just does really well. It might not be number one in any category, but it's near the top in every category. You want to go and take some big furniture or some large load? Yep, can do that. You want to go on a long journey? Nice and comfortable. You want to do a short journey? Again, nice and comfortable, easy to drive, easy to park. It's like a utility belt. It's just good at everything. If Batman didn't have the Batmobile, he'd have a Skoda Octavia. Maybe. A black one. There are 3 Octavias in front of me, all taxis. And you know what? Why wouldn't you? It's the perfect taxi, it really is. Now this estate is just over 34 grand list price, which is expensive. However, as with most manufacturers, list price is just a target, it's a starting point. Who pays list price at the majority of dealers, especially the big ones like your Fords and your Vauxhalls and Skodas and so forth? Just a 5-minute Google has managed to find this exact car, the Estate PHEV SEL, for just under £28,000, brand new. Now again, I'm not saying that's cheap, but considering what you're getting, the spec, the size, and how much plug-in hybrids cost today, I think that's really good. The infotainment system I could live with, but the wireless Apple CarPlay just makes it faultless. That's what I would always use personally. The rest it's a bit clunky. This has won the What Car 2021 Plug-in Hybrid of the Year award. And you know what? I think they're correct. Out of all the plug-in hybrids on the market right now, on the new market, as an all-rounder, not in every individual category, or even not in many individual, it's not top, but as an all-rounder, this is the best plug-in hybrid on the market right now, for me. It's like one of those footballers, you know, the utility player. They'll just play in various positions, just gets on with it. Yes, boss, I'll play there if you want me to. They'll never score a screaming 40-yard goal or a brilliant free kick or anything like that. But nor will they give the ball away or a bad tackle or something like that. They'll just get on with it and do the job they've been asked to. And that's basically what I'm getting from this. It just gets on with things and does what you ask of it. And that's what I think the majority of the population want. You know, not people like myself who are, you know, into the cars and want a bit of personality. It is a bit personality free, is the Octavia. But I suspect most people, as I said, will get this for the utility side of it, rather than the fact it's you know, it's got a personality, which it doesn't really, does it? It's nice and efficient. It does fall into that category that pretty much every plug-in hybrid on the market now does as well, in that they've done it the wrong way around. You should have a big battery with a small petrol engine, a range extender. It's not connected to wheels, it just generates a bit of electricity when you run out of the main battery, which is for most people a very rare event. Like the BMW i3, when that used to come, because it's no longer sold, with its range extender. The only one that's actually going to be doing that, and it's not even out yet, I think it's going to be another 6 to 12 months away, will be the Mazda MX-30. That's going to come as an option with a bigger battery and a range extender engine. And I think that's what the best solution is for those that can't yet get a full electric vehicle. A plug-in hybrid is for people that have unreliable charging, basically that have to rely on the public charging network. So most of the time it's fine, but sometimes it's not working, you know, it's just too busy, you know, there's a queue or something like that. This is probably the next best thing. Obviously, if you get one of these and you don't plug it in, it's pointless. That's the one key kind of thing of a plug-in hybrid. The clue's in the title. Plug-in hybrid. What's the point in getting it if you don't do that? Right, well, thank you for watching. Press all the usual subscribe buttons and like buttons and all the usual other buttons and things like that. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you soon.